and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst movies of the 2010s so far. For this list, although we can all agree that there are different levels of bad, we'll be looking at North American big-budget studio productions.
You're gonna hear them too, little girl. You'll hear them soon enough, because she's coming to get you too.
We'll be basing our choices on a mix of critical and commercial success, or rather a lack thereof, the quality of the films in terms of story, effects, acting, and so on, as well as how they are generally perceived these days. Number 10, Furry Vengeance.
The animals are out to get me.
Watching Furry Vengeance, you can't help but wonder where Brendan Fraser's career is going and how badly he needed this paycheck.
Absolutely. That's right.
Fraser has often made questionable film choices, but this poor excuse for a slapstick farce takes the cake.
Miley Cyrus!
Lacking any proper comedy, the family flick sees Fraser as a poor unfortunate soul who's trying to develop property over a forest reserve full of furry animals that abuse and torture him for the entirety of the film. This kind of humor can only be tolerated in a Looney Tunes cartoon, and we assure you, Brendan Fraser is no Wile E. Coyote. Number 9, Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Why can't we make what we want to make the way we want to make it?
The Transformers film franchise already had a reputation for being a monstrous, dumbed-down, hyper-American Michael Bay study in excess. The critics love to hate them, and yet the big bucks keep coming in. So a fourth film was inevitable.
I hate cheap knockoffs.
Rather than showing any improvement though, Age of Extinction just made audiences lose their faith in Mark Wahlberg.
That was it. That was why. For money. And it was me making a mistake.
Although the film received some of the worst reviews of the year, it was still the highest grossing picture of 2014. If the dip in quality with each sequel means anything, the upcoming installments and spin-offs will be mega disasters.
We shall meet again, Prime, for I am reborn.
Number 8, Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, this one is definitely going on Instagram.
Although the Fantastic Four were always considered kinda silly, the world had hope for this gritty reboot. What with its talented young cast, a promising up-and-coming director, and a great-looking trailer. What could go wrong?
We can't beat him. He's stronger than any of us.
Yeah, he is. But he's not stronger than all of us.
When the first reports came through, the world was shocked to hear how bad this movie was.
I'm no good to you, to anyone. This is all my fault.
That we can agree on.
As it made the Jessica Alba version seem almost Oscar-worthy by comparison, director Josh Trank was quick to blame studio interference.
Let's get the hell out of here!
Number 7, The Legend of Hercules.
People of Terrence, I give you your mighty Hercules.
In 2014, we were lucky enough to be introduced to 2 major Hollywood productions about the Greek hero Hercules.
I have had the honor to stand by the greatest hero the gods have ever given the people.
The Legend of Hercules, however, made Dwayne Johnson's version seem like Citizen Kane, even though it was released months earlier. It made the world wonder if the terrible production was due to Summit Entertainment rushing the release of the earlier film in order to beat The Rock to the punch. The result was that it was full of dull action, lacking in emotion, and was overall incredibly cheap-looking.
You are Hercules, the god.
No, I'm just a man.
Alas, poor Kellen Lutz is no Dwayne Johnson. Maybe it deserved to win some of its 6 Razzie nominations.
It's none of your business.
Number 6, I, Frankenstein.
I am not your son. And this body is mine.
We continue to see more and more comic book adaptations every year, and while many are major successes, there will of course be some duds.
I'm a dozen used parts from 8 different corpses. I'm a monster.
However, in a year of X-Men and Winter Soldiers, the world decided to ignore I, Frankenstein, and rightfully so.
The rumors are true.
Aaron Eckhart, now believing himself to be an action star, plays a version of Frankenstein's monster who hunts demons in an underworld-style CGI-heavy extravaganza. Despite its shiny exterior, audiences were completely disinterested, and the few who saw it found it utterly dull.
What's this got to do with me? What's any of this got to do with me?
Number 5. United Passions.
Perhaps we need a central governing body for our wonderful game.
Here we have an almost 2-hour-long business drama about the origins of the leading World Football Association, FIFA, and a film that also happened to be almost completely funded by FIFA.
Who the hell is that?
Jules Rimet. He's the president of some federation that nobody even knows.
Just hearing the synopsis makes you want to fall asleep, despite all the criticism and controversy that the subject matter has prompted.
An institution like ours cannot run on good intentions alone. We need money. We need a great deal of money.
The football drama was no inspirational sports flick, but a boring and cringeworthy by-the-numbers film that absolutely nobody asked for.
How are things going with Coca-Cola?
Well,
I need this contract under any condition. Is that clear?
it is, Mr. President.
United Passions is already being hailed as one of the worst films ever made. The proof is in the numbers, as the world watched the roughly $30 million film make less than $1,000 for its North American opening weekend.
So you're giving up?
We don't exist, my friends.
Oh.
Number 4. Movie 43.
Yeah, my friend is bleeding out of her vagina!
Working on the premise that more is better, this anthology film had been in the works for years.
You look like you slept in a soup kitchen urinal.
You look like you bathed in a dumpster behind the abortion clinic.
If you take mediocre sketches that could easily have been cheap YouTube videos, then replace actual laughs with crude humor, throw in some great and some not-so-great Hollywood actors, then you get Movie 43.
Teenage boys are physically attracted to naked women.
Our research doesn't support that, sir.
Although it is fun to watch some of these big actors playing dirty, as if they were dared to be in this movie, it's painful to watch others degrade themselves on the big screen.
Okay, truth or dare?
Truth?
I knew you'd say that. I am going to push the limits here just a little bit. Are you circumcised?
Poor Richard Gere tried everything to get out of this one, and you can see it in his face.
It's horrific.
Number 3. The Last Airbender.
You won't be killed by waterbenders if you stay hidden here. We could be friends, you know.
Good old M. Night Shyamalan inevitably makes a strong appearance here. If you thought After Earth was going to make our list, well, you were close. But have you subjected yourself to this insanity?
There are reasons each of us are born. We have to find those reasons.
If you ever wanted to see a human explode with rage, ask an Avatar fan about this adaptation of the beloved TV show.
That's why they are so frightened by the existence of the Avatar.
Very few critics or fans have been able to find one redeeming quality about this disaster. What we get here are racially mismatched characters, mispronounced character names, and a convoluted plot that proves that not all animated material, especially a season's worth of episodes, should be squeezed into a live-action film.
I don't think that's a good idea. We started a rebellion.
What's going on?
Number 2. Left Behind.
I know you all want answers, and believe me, so do I.
For all those who went to see this without knowing it was about Christians going to heaven, and instead thought it was going to be an action-packed Nicolas Cage apocalyptic thriller, we hope you asked for your money back.
Irene knew this was coming. In detail. How could that be possible?
Well, it's not like anybody saw this movie anyway. For the millions of you who've never even heard of this, Left Behind is meant to represent how bad it will get when the rapture comes. And all the non-believers are, left behind.
Believe in what? In a God that killed my father? A God that grabbed my mother and my brother and ripped them out of this world?
Except we don't get to see the end of the world. Instead, we get 110 minutes of confused people panicking and a very subdued Nicolas Cage. Lame.
I can't let that be the last thing we say to each other.
Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable, or in this case, dishonorable mentions.
Can't believe you're making me fight hungover.
You want to drink like a man? Let's see if you can fight like a man. Come on, let's go!
The universe, in its ultimate wisdom, will not let you reveal yourself. It's smarter than us.
That's sick.
Consider it the universe's witness protection program.
Please, you gotta love everything about them. Not just the good things, but the bad things too. The things that you find lovable and the things that you don't find lovable.
I understand.
There's still kids going down that slide.
Once these idiots get out of the water, it's not as if the fish are going to follow them home.
Nobody I know could set up something like this.
So why you?
Because I can drive.
That's debatable.
Number 1, Jack and Jill.
It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
The final degrading and incomprehensible performance of the decade so far goes to Al Pacino.
Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino.
We honestly hope he fired his agents after this one, and we are certain he still has nightmares about Adam Sandler. What with Grown Ups 2, The Ridiculous Six, and other alleged comedies, we're concerned that Sandler is either pranking us or he's lost his mind.
Oh my God, I'm an idiot.
However, the Sandler-produced film with the aforementioned horrendous Pacino performance, and our top pick is Jack and Jill.
Oh, please. Tell me you don't feel this.
I didn't feel it. Maybe if you did it harder.
Also starring Sandler in both titular roles, the movie has absolutely no plot, and was just an excuse for him to dress up as the ugliest woman since Mrs. Doubtfire, as well as make fart jokes.
My bags are packed and there's nothing left to say.
The movie's record-breaking Razzie wins, in which it took home awards for every category available, as well as its very negative reception, more than back all this up.
Burn this.
I'm sorry?
This must never be seen. By anyone.
Do you agree with our list?
No. No.
What do you think is the worst movie of the 2010s so far?
They have ruined everything.
No, not everything.